oxygen tank, or also referred to as a D tank. Okay, never ever leave this unattended while standing. Okay, don't do this and then walk away. Okay, it's dangerous. Okay, if you're gonna walk away or anything like that, set it down. Okay, or put it back in the sleeve, either or. Okay, but never leave it standing. I'm gonna leave it standing right now because my hand's gonna be on it. Okay, so I'm always gonna have control of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and inspect D tank. Okay, make sure it doesn't have any dents or dings or anything like that, or anything to compromise it. I'm gonna go ahead and open it and close. Okay, and what that's going to do, it's going to clear any debris from the actual valve that's in here. Okay, so again, one more time, I'm going to open it and close it. I'm going to do that one time to make sure everything's clear, valves and whatnot. And I'm going to go ahead and take the regulator. This is called the regulator right here. Okay, this is how you're going to control the oxygen flow. Okay, so when I refer to as 2 liters, 5, 10, 15, anything like that, I'm going to control it through here, right? This right here. Okay, so if you guys notice, this regulator has 2 little prongs in here. This only goes in one way. If you guys can see, okay, this doesn't have 2 holes on this side, but it does on the other side. Okay, it's important you guys put it on right. Don't rush anything. Okay, put it on right. Okay, once it's on, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure it's on there. Okay, and notice how it's nice and even. Okay, if it's ever slanted up or down, then it's on wrong. Okay, once it's on, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the oxygen. Okay, turn it on, and again, if there's any kind of compromise or it's on incorrectly, I'm gonna hear the air coming out of here. Okay, if I don't hear anything, then I'm good. Then I'm gonna go ahead and check the PSI level. A full D tank or a full oxygen tank, okay, should be at 2,000. Okay, PSI. Anybody know when you guys should replace it?
500.
At 500. Okay, don't let it go below 500. 500, or once again too close to 500, go ahead and change it out. Okay, grab another one. Your station should have more. I usually, once it gets close to 800, I usually just swap it out myself. I don't ever let it get to 500. Okay. So once that's on, remember, once that's on, the oxygen here is always just going to be on, and I'm going to leave it on because how I'm going to control it is right here. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing here. This would be at 0. Okay. So since it's at 0, do you guys see this little upside down Christmas tree? I'm going to open it and close it. That's going to clear out any debris from here. Okay, so I'm going to open it and close it. Okay, I'm going to put it back in the sleeve. Once I do that, I'm going to connect my hose. Okay. Over to my NRV. Okay, and I'm going to set it at high flow, so I'm going to set it at 10 to 15. I'll just set it at 15. Okay, and I'm going to cover the valve right here so I can fill up the bag about 3/4 of the way. Once it's full, about 3/4 of the way, I'm going to let go, and I'm going to put it on the patient and secure it on nice and snug. Okay, secure it. Okay, end of skill. Okay, that's skill number 1. At the end of every skill, okay, at the end of every skill, your proctor will always going to ask you, is there anything you want to add or change? It's not a trick question. Okay, we're not trying to trip you up or anything like that. If you did everything correctly and you just want to end it right there, you're going to say no, end skill right there, and that's it. Okay. If you did miss anything, whatever it is that you missed, that's your time to say, you know what, I would go back and I would start with BSI, or I forgot to crack the O2 tank in the beginning to clear any debris, so I would do that first, or whatever it is that you guys missed. Okay, I would do that. So once it's all said and done, okay, proctor's gonna tell you, okay, break it down, take this off, okay, set this back to 0. Okay, now it's up to your proctor. Since we are gonna move out to the BVM, him or her might tell you to move the hose, remove the hose, or leave it on. Okay, it's up to the proctor. Okay, you can guys always ask too, do you want me to take off the hose or leave it on? The only thing I'll let you keep on for sure is the regulator on the O2 tank. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the BVM. Okay, how am I gonna start this go? Okay, sorry. Okay, safety. Okay, so I'm seeing. I'm gonna say, sir, ma'am, can you hear me? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and what did it say? Check the pulse.
Check pulse and
check the breathing. Okay, so how I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna check pulse and provide a pulse for 5 no more than 10 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and listen to for breath sounds, and I'm gonna look at the chest rise and fall. Okay, and at that point, the proctor's gonna tell me something. Okay, keep in mind when you guys are testing, okay, it's not just you gonna come up here and start speaking. Like for this one in general, it's gonna say, what's the skill sheet up? Your proctor's gonna tell you all the gray area. So after checking responsive and checking breathing and pulse for more than 10 seconds, for no more than 10 seconds, sorry, examiner informs you that the patient is unresponsive and apnea and has a weak pulse of 60. Okay, so all the gray area is what your proctor is going to tell you. So you need to give him or her time to respond. Okay, you're not just gonna say I'm checking for his pulse, breathing, and all that, and then move on to the next one. Okay, you need to make sure that you look up to your proctor and say, okay, is there a pulse? Is the patient breathing or anything like that? Okay, my proctor just told me that the patient's unresponsive, okay, and has a weak pulse of 80. So I'm gonna open up the airway. Now, before I open up the airway, what am I gonna double check? Spinal injury. So I'm just simply gonna ask my proctor, is there any kind of spinal injury, or do I suspect any kind of injury? My proctor may say yes there is, or no there isn't. Either one's fine, because now I know what to do. So if there is spinal injury, again, jaw thrust, and this is how you're gonna do it right here. Okay, so I'm putting my fingers right here underneath the chin, and okay, thumbs right on the chin, and I'm just gonna thrust forward. Okay, that's it, just like that. Okay, see how that opens up. Okay, now if I don't suspect any spinal injury, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and grab from back here. I'm gonna tilt the head and push the chin up. Okay, just boom, all in one motion. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that, or I'm gonna grab right here and just move my thumbs basically. Okay, so I'm gonna open up the airway manually, and I'm gonna look up and tell my proctor, okay, is the airway clear? Okay, and then my proctor's gonna tell me, okay, the mouth is full of secretion and vomitus. Okay, so okay, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare my suction catheter. I'm gonna set everything up. I'm gonna connect. There's another hose here that goes onto the actual suction device. Okay, and like I said, it's gonna look like a little monitor. Okay, got there. I'm gonna go ahead and set up the hose. Okay, I'm gonna measure the yonker from tip of the ear to tip of the mouth. Now remember, you guys are saying it just how I'm saying it to the proctor. Okay, you're not just gonna. Because at that point, your proctor's gonna look at you like, what are you doing? Okay? Make sure you guys are explaining yourself as you guys are doing it. Okay? So tip of the ear, tip of the mouth, I'm gonna measure from there. Okay, perfect, it's about right there. Okay, there's a hole right there. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the suction device. I'm gonna insert the yonker without suctioning all the way until I measure or until I feel resistance. And once I do that, I'm gonna start suctioning. I'm gonna weigh out in a circular motion for no more than 15 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and manually open up the airway again. Is it clear? And now the proctor's gonna tell me the mouth openings are clear. I'll say perfect. Now I'm gonna open up the airway again. I'm gonna say, is the airway maintainable? Can the patient maintain this airway open? The proctor's gonna say no. So I'm gonna go ahead and see how it has different ones. I have to measure it. Same way you measure the yonker, the same way I measure it. See, you guys have all these right here. Okay. Let's do a little get like a catch. Okay. Same way. So you gotta go ahead and measure it from tip of the ear, tip of the mouth. So notice how this one right here sits over the mouth, so it's too big. Okay. This one right here is too small. Okay. Tip of the mouth right there, so it just needs to be higher. Okay. This one, just a little too high. And this one, like Goldilocks said, is just right. Okay? So, what I'm going to do, and this is very important, on the field, okay, on the field, you're going to do a 180 turn. So what that means is you're going to put this right here pointing up to the roof of the mouth, okay? You go up, you're going to open up the airway manually, and then do a 180 turn, just like that, okay? And you're gonna lay it right on the teeth. Okay. Here, so here, because you guys probably won't be nervous on that day. Okay, it's okay. You guys are gonna do a 90-degree turn. Okay, put it in sideways, and then turn it this way like that. Now, when you guys are doing this, it's very important that you guys let your proctor know, because it's skills and it's rubber on rubber per my instructor. Okay, he told me I could do a 90 degree. But I know that on the field, I would do a 180, okay? Because if you guys never practice it, you guys are gonna be doing this right here. Okay, suck. And remember, everything's timed, okay? Everything is timed, okay? And it's a little harder than what it looks like, just because, like I said, it's rubber on rubber. So, what do you guys want to do when it comes to the OPA?
Read and explain per instructor, 90 rubber on rubber.
Okay. Now, once you guys do that, I'm gonna look up and ask the proctor, does my patient accept my OPA? Okay, proctor's gonna say yes. Okay, I'm gonna say perfect. So once I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and see how I'm switching over to this one. This is the reason why we leave this together. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do 2 rescue breaths. Okay, rescue breaths are different than ventilating the patient. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rescue breath. And notice the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my thigh right in the back of the patient's head. Okay, now remember that C grip I was telling you guys? It's gonna be right here, chin up. Okay, and notice how my elbow, okay, straight lock, and I'm slightly gonna be pushing down on the patient. Okay, I'm not doing this right here. I see a lot of people doing this right here, but the problem with that is you don't have enough pressure here. Okay, you need to get a nice seal all the way around. So I'm gonna go up, lock it, okay, and notice how my palm, like I was telling you guys, is gonna create pressure right here. The nice seal, thumb's gonna be on this side, okay, and this right here, the fingers and the chin's gonna create over here. So the only part that I have that my air come out is on this side, and I can fix that by simply putting a little bit of pressure on the bag right here. Okay, I'm not doing this right here. Okay, I'm not hitting that either. Okay, I'm just gonna put a little bit of pressure right here. Okay, and I'm looking for that chest rise and fall. Okay, see, I can do that with 2 fingers. Okay, this is why I tell you guys, don't squeeze the bag. You don't have to just force it in there. Okay, just okay, 1, 2. Okay, and you guys will feel it if you guys want to try not lifting the chin. See, now it's getting a little harder. Okay. And if I lift it a little bit or not enough, you guys will not see that chest rise until it's all the way up. You guys see that? Okay, so it's important you guys lift that chin, and that's why my thigh is right here, because if it wasn't, it's gonna roll off the table. Okay. Now we do this again here just for skill purposes. In real life, okay, you're not gonna be dragging a person that weighs over 100 pounds or anything like that. Okay, so no worries there. So, okay, make sure nice and easy. Okay, just squeeze. Okay, you're not doing that. Okay, all you're doing is just nice and easy. Okay, remember you're trying to mimic all the patient, or just in general the way we breathe normally. Once we do that, go back. Check carotid pulse for 5, no more than 10 seconds. Okay, and at this time your proctor won't say anything, but you have to check carotid pulse. Okay, check the carotid pulse for 5, no more than 10 seconds. Then what you're gonna do there is you're gonna go ahead and then you're going to ventilate. Okay, you're gonna set the pose. Okay, to BVM. Okay, I'm gonna set it at high flow 2, so I'm gonna set it at 15. Okay, and this is where you guys start counting. Okay. Okay, this is where you guys are going to start the 10 to 12 in 1 minute. Okay, so there's 1. My time just started. Okay, and I'm going to start counting. If you guys want to look at your watch, I wouldn't look at the clock back there, because a lot of times we're set up to where your back is to that. Okay, so then again we just 10 to 12 in 1 minute. Okay, however you guys want to do it, whether it be Mississippi, okay, alligators, 1/1000 or anything like that. And notice how I'm not even squeezing the entire bag. That's it. That's all I'm doing, lifting the chin. Yeah. That's all I'm doing. Okay? Any questions?
So when you do the rescue breaths, is it at the same interval as what you're doing right now, or
One more time?
when you do the 2 initial rescue breaths, are they done at the same interval as what you're doing right now, or is there
Yes.
no? Okay.
Now, the difference between a rescue breath and ventilating is rescue breath is you're doing that, the patient has not been breathing for X amount of time or an unknown amount of time. So again, we go back to the same thing, no ABCs, no patient, right? So the most important thing to do is after you clear the airway, you're gonna go ahead and breathe for the patient. Okay, you gotta keep in mind, and this is where we get into the whole process of why we breathe, pathophysiology, and then we break into, like one of you guys said, okay, the blood oxygen. Without oxygen, you know, the blood can't circulate properly, and tissues start dying without oxygen and stuff like that. So we're trying to get oxygen into the patient, okay, in general. Once we get that, we check cardiac pulse again, make sure it improved. Okay, those kind of worst case scenario, we want it to not do anything. Okay, because other than that, if it gets worse, now we're in trouble. And a lot of times, if it gets worse, it's probably because we did something. Okay, one of our interventions is what we call whatever we do, like even O2 administration. That's an intervention that we do. Okay, so then we go ahead and start breathing, start ventilating the patient. Okay, now a lot of times we forget. Sometimes I used to not tell you guys. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't, because it all depends on how much you guys freak out. For this skills right here, you guys are gonna be timed a total of 3 times. I think it's 5 minutes for the entire skill, 30 seconds from after you start suctioning. You guys have 30 seconds from after you start suctioning to measure and insert the OPA and to give the first rescue breath. You guys have 30 seconds. And in your skills, it'll say award an extra point if you guys do the rescue breath with the O2 attached. Okay. Before you guys start doing that, I would practice just without it first. Okay. Again, you only have 30 seconds. Once you feel comfortable in getting into that, then I would try with the ventilation to get the extra point. Okay. And then you guys get time, a final time for that 1 minute. Okay. That 1 minute of ventilation. Sorry. Okay. Now for this one, they're gonna tell you, how do you know you're delivering adequate breath with every ventilation? Oh, sorry. How do you know you're delivering volumes with each ventilation? Okay. There are 4 answers. You're only required to give 2. Okay. There are 4 answers. You're only required to give 2. Okay. The 4 are, okay, you meet no resistance. Okay. You meet no resistance. Color returns back to normal. Okay. Adequate chest rise and fall. And the patient starts breathing on his or her own, or ROSC. Okay. Any questions on that? There's 4 things. Out of those 4 possible answers, you're only obligated to give 2.
What was the first one
Okay, so you meet no resistance. So basically, so you meet no resistance. So basically, I'm doing it correctly like this. Okay. Resistance would be like, man, I'm not getting it. Okay. This is resistance. Okay. I'm doing this right here, and I'm not getting any kind of chest rise. Which goes to the second one, adequate chest rise and fall. Every time I'm ventilating, I get adequate chest rise and fall. Okay. Then color returns back to normal. Now you got to keep in mind what happens when you don't breathe for an X amount of time. Okay. So you become cyanotic, turn blue. Okay. And the last one is, again, ROSC return, spontaneous circulation or breathing. Okay.
For the suctioning during skills, do you need to do it for 15 seconds or can you just verbally?
You can just verbalize it. Okay. Any questions? No? Okay. So this is where you guys are gonna start actually doing it hands-on. Okay, I want everybody to try it. We only have 1 big head, but we have more mannequins and more O2 tanks, stuff like that. So alternate, go around, make sure everybody tries the big head as well. I haven't given them a name, so I'm just gonna call him Big Head for right now. That's Bob. I haven't given him Big Head. Okay. Questions? Some say Bill?
No, I did.
Okay. Any questions? Yes.
I got confused. When you're putting that on, like ventilating for them, first you did it without the
rescue breath.
Yeah. So is that how it is? Like, because then you said you could do it without the hose or with the hose, so I got confused what you meant.
Yeah. So here, it'll say in the bottom. Okay, it'll say award this point if candidate elects to ventilate initially with BVM attached to reservoir air and oxygen, so long as first ventilation is delivered within 30 seconds. Okay. So that's just an extra point. Okay, it's an extra point. So an extra point if you guys want it. Again, I wouldn't try that yet until you guys get comfortable, until you guys try it, and until somebody times you actually to see where you fall in that time. Okay? Because it would kind of suck for you guys to fail all because you're trying to get that point. Okay? If you take more than 30 seconds, it is a critical fail. Okay? So that's why I tell you guys, try without it first, okay, and then go about that. Okay? Any questions? So I'm gonna leave this set up here. And then I'm gonna take some of the O2 tanks and I'm gonna separate it. Alan, we got